name's Ian. I'm with GuitarLessonsReview.com. In today's video, I'm going to explain a little bit to you about how to find different notes on different strings on the guitar neck. I'm going to explain to you the spacing between each note. When we're talking about notes, we talk about A through G, the musical notes that we use. And I'm going to explain to you how the frets on your neck work into that and the different spacing between notes in terms of frets. For this video, I'm going to assume that you do know the names of the strings on your guitar already. If you're not familiar, a quick refresher, we've got E at the very top, then we have A, then we have D, and then G, B, and then E again. Normally when we talk in string numbers, we start at the bottom. Our high E is 1, our low E is 6. So if I mention a number, count from the bottom to which number I mean. If I say the 5th string, we're talking about the A string, which is the 5th from the bottom, okay? So, first things first, let's talk about what notes are we trying to find. Of course, there's not the whole alphabet worth of notes when we talk about music. We have A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, okay? There's sharps and flats and things like that in there, but we're not going to worry about that for this particular lesson. Finding those on the guitar neck isn't that difficult, although it may seem a little overwhelming at first because there's so many frets on here. But basically what we just need to understand is we need to remember the spacing between each notes and then understand what denotes a space on our guitar neck. So what do I mean by spacing? Well, let me first introduce you to the frets here on our neck. I'm sure you're familiar with those. Each fret denotes what's called a half step in music, okay? So if we go starting at our 6th string, the E, low E, if we go to the 1st fret, that's a half step. If we go from that open string E to the 2nd fret, that's a full step, okay? So with that in mind, let's talk a little bit about those notes again. Between most notes, there's a full step. So that means 2 frets, right? Open string to the 2nd fret would be a whole step. Or 3rd fret to the 5th fret, that would be a whole step as well. Remember, 1 fret is a half step. 2 halves make a whole. So there's only 2 places where 1 half step separates the notes. And that's between E and F and B and C. Okay? So, with that in mind, let's see if we can find some notes here on our guitar neck, okay? We know, like I said, knowing the names of the strings, we'll start here at the 6th string from the bottom, the low E. The low E it's an E, right? So what comes after E? F. But remember, between E and F, there's only a half step, not a whole step. So if we go E, let's go 1 half step. That's only 1 fret. So let's use our index finger, our first finger, on the 1st fret. So we go E, that's an F. What's after F is G, but G has a whole step there. So we're not going to go up 1 fret, we're actually going up 2 frets because that's a whole step. So let's go E, what did we just learn? F. A whole step takes us to G. Use your 3rd finger and place that on your 3rd fret of the low E string. And that's a G. Okay, so that reaches as far as we went in the musical notes. Where do we go now? There's no H, of course, so we cycle back around to the A. So remember, there's no half steps only between G and A, only between E and F and B and C. So that means that we're actually going to go up a whole step. So we go from G, cycle back around to A. So something interesting happened here. I'll stop just to explain it really quickly here. That 5th fret on the low E, the 6th string, is an A. And lo and behold, the string below it, the 5th string from the bottom, is also an A. So I won't get into this in this video, I'll leave it for another video, but there's an easy system here you can use to get your guitar in tune with itself if you're ever finding that there's some strings that are out of tune with each other. And you can do it by knowing where these notes are at. So, back to what we were talking about here. Let's just recap really quickly. So, open E, 1st fret F, 3rd fret G, 5th fret A. Lo and behold, the 5th string, it's an A. So we go A, B, right? And what's the separation between A and B? It's a whole step, right? So we're on the 2nd fret. That's a whole step. The 1st fret would be a half step. The 2nd fret is a whole step. So A, B, and what did did I say between B and C? Only a half step, right? So B, C, that's our 3rd fret. And then from C to D is a whole step, so we're up to the 5th fret again. And that's a D. A, B, C, D. And sure enough, what's our 4th string from the bottom, or the 3rd string from the top? It's a D. So again, 5th fret, it's a D. So let's keep going here and we'll finish off this exercise. D, between D and E is what? A whole step, right? So that's 2 frets again. So we're going to play our D, open, then 2nd finger on 2nd fret of the D brings us to an E. D, E, and here we are with E and F again, remember, half step. Remember we did up here, we did E, F. Open E, 1st fret's an F, so there's an E. 2nd fret on the D string is an E. So half step up is an F, goes to our 3rd fret. Use your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret. That's an F. It's going to be the same as the 1st finger on the 1st fret of the E. Right? So F. And now we go to G. We've got a whole step. We're up to the 5th fret on the G string. And what's that? It's a G. A whole step up from the F on the 3rd fret of the D string. Which, surprisingly, equates to, right below it is the G string on the 5th fret. Right? So, I won't go through it all. I think you're probably getting the idea of it now. We've got half step between B and C, and half step between E and F. Using this, I would suggest, okay, shut the video off when we're done here, go grab your guitar, go through what we just went through here with the half and whole steps, finding each note, and see if you can keep going onto the G string, the B string, and the high E. And I'll give you a little tip. This sort of pattern that we're showing here, with on the 5th fret of the 6th string being the same as the A below it, then the 5th fret of the 5th string, the A string being the D, that doesn't work for one string, and it's going to be the G string. So see if you can find out why and how it ties in. Remember, the names of the strings, keep those in mind when you're trying to figure this out. So I hope this helped explain a little bit how you can find different notes on the neck, and as well maybe showed you a little pattern for how you can tune your guitar if it gets out of tune. I'm going to put another video together here pretty soon that's going to explain how you can use that nifty little system on notes here to get your guitar in tune if it ever goes way out of whack and you don't have a tuner handy or anything like that. So, thanks for watching. Again, my name's Ian with GuitarLessonsReview.com. Happy playing and practicing. Bye for now.